What's up, football fans? Bengal and Goliath back here with another video. Trevor is gone. It is just me, but I am joined today by Jacob, Zuckreacts. Welcome to the pod.
Let's do this, baby. Let's do this. Let's have a time.
So we're going to talk about the upcoming 2026 NFL draft, talk about some mock draft strategies and what we kind of think will be going based off of our personal opinions. But yeah, let's just go ahead and kick this thing off. I don't think we have to talk too much about the first overall pick.
Not in particular, unless the Raiders do something crazy. I don't know. Who knows? The Raiders in the first overall pick with a quarterback.
Do you, Matt, here's my question for you. I think we both agree that Fernando Mendoza is going to get drafted 1 overall. I don't think we have to argue that very much. But my question for you is, do you think Fernando Mendoza is a typical number 1 overall quarterback?
I mean, he doesn't give you a reason to dislike him. That's the thing that I've always noticed about him. Because he's such a personable guy. I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm a Hawkeye, and it's just like there's no way to dislike the guy. He just does literally everything you possibly could want. And he's just a winner too, right? That's the other thing that people neglect to realize is he just wins. Didn't really matter where he was at. He would win football games at a high level. Didn't lose. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is the time he'll lose." He just win again. And it's very rare to find somebody who checks off so many boxes both off and on the field. And the fact that he's able to do that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And he's just talented. He's just talented. People don't like that he's talented because of who he is as a person. I don't know why that's the case. But people do not like how talented he is. They want other people to be more talented than them. But there's that.
For sure. No, I think you worded that up good. I mean, one of the qualities you want to see out of a quarterback that's going to go number 1 overall is that he can win at any level. And just like you said, Mendoza's proved that he can be a winner. So, okay. Mendoza number 1 to the Raiders. We both are in agreement. Now, after that, this is why I'm excited for this draft, is because I think right after pick 1, all hell can break loose, and it could go any direction. So I want to ask you first, who do you think goes to the Jets?
I have Arvell Reese. Just position needs making sense there. I have an interesting take. We talked about this earlier. I think Sonny Styles is this is a ridiculous take, but I think he might be the best player in this defensive draft class. I know it's ridiculous. He's played 2 positions in college. He came in as a 5-star safety. Played at Ohio State. They said play linebacker. He said okay. Obviously, it's not going to make sense to take him with that linebacker position. You got to work edge with New York. That's what they want to do. But the fact that Ohio State's got 3 guys that are going to go top 10 defensively, what? I don't know what's in, it's ridiculous. But it's like we have Arvell Reese, and then you have obviously you'll have Caleb Downs going somewhere. But then I think people neglect to realize that Sonny Styles is only playing a different position because Cardinal Tate exists, right? That's the reason he's playing a different position, and now he's doing that to perfection. This is a guy who can do anything, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to go at the second overall pick. We'll talk about him later, but I have Arvell Reese at the second pick.
Yes, I have Arvell Reese as well. I think one of the things, Arvell Reese impressed me in all the highlights that I've watched of him. But one thing that I think is obviously, you talk to Jets fans, you see Jets fans on Twitter, they obviously want this entire defense to be completely rebuilt. And you start by getting a guy that's going to be the captain of a defense. And I know that Arvell Reese is sometimes listed as an edge, but traditionally played linebacker for Ohio State. I think Arvell Reese is the guy you'd want to be back there as a captain for the Jets to restart this defense.
How many times are we going to restart this defense? How many times are we going to restart this defense at this point? It has to be a defensive pick. It has to be a defensive pick. There's no denying that, but it's just oh my God, how many times are they going to restart this defense?
Yeah. Okay, so Arvell Reese, 2 to the Jets. We're still in agreement. Now let's go 3. First, I want to ask do you agree David Bailey goes here?
I have Francis. I go offensive tackle. He's elite. He showed up. He showed everything. I also went very position need here. Maybe it's a hot take. I go very position need. I think that's another thing that people neglect to realize is that there are players, but you have to fill in certain voids. You have to fill in certain spots. And I feel like that one is right. I don't know. That's what you would do right there. I have Bailey going the pick after to the Titans. I have him going the pick after, but fill in your needs where you need to fill them in. That's just always been my mindset with those picks. Is if there's elite players, elite positions at certain, fill in that position right off the rip, especially offensive tackles, because now they're just getting ridiculously expensive. We're in a part of the league where it's like, look at in 3-4 years time, whenever they're gonna have to pay him, they're gonna pay him whatever. But that's just how that is now.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of that. taking your position lead. I don't know if I see that happening, but if it happens, hey, you're the man for that. But I will say, I think that the Cardinals definitely need an edge rusher. So Bailey going to the Cardinals makes sense. I will say, that's who I have.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I went a little riskier. You'll realize later I made trades. I went ballistic on this thing, but
for sure. But I will say, I think that if Bailey were to go 2 to the Jets, I think the Cardinals then trade the 3 and somebody comes screaming up to get Arvo.
it would make sense. It would make perfect. That's an elite edge rusher right there, and that's a team there are teams with multiple first-round picks this year. Dallas. Dallas is one that I always think is worth keeping here because they have the multiple first-round picks. This is the time for them to finally do something about it. This is the time for them finally to do something about it, in my opinion. That's one that the Giants, if they really wanted to, I mean, they have the 2 top 10 picks. They could package them both if they really, really felt the need to. But at the same time, it's like you have 2 top 10 picks. But like,
right. So then you said you have Bailey going forward to the Titans.
They need the edge rusher. They had such a good, and I think they had like one of the sneakiest, best off seasons in football. Put a lot of pen to paper, which is just like, it was expected, but also unexpected because it's like the product was fine. Cam Ward was all right. He showed what he could do, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it was impressive to see the amount of guys they ever ended up banking, and then to be able to bring in somebody like David Bailey would be huge.
Yeah. Okay, so I have them taking Jeremiah Love. And I think the Titans go Love because of the positional disadvantage that they had at running back last year. I mean, they just didn't have much of a rush offense at all. And while I think Robert Saleh coming into the Titans scheme as the head coach now and being this massive defensive guy, it screams that they're going to take some giant defensive player here. Obviously, like if what happens, like you say, like if Bailey's there at 4, they're going to take Bailey. I agree. But I will say if Bailey and Reese are gone, 2 and 3, I think they take Love just because position-wise, he's just incredible.
I don't disagree. I think it feels like when we talk, because it's so tricky to talk running backs at that like top 10 position, because you never know what's going to happen with a running back in the top 10 position or the top 15 pick. Like, he feels like a shoo-in to at least not be bad in the slightest. There's no way. There's no way he can be bad. He's only showing you good stuff. There's no way he could be bad.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. There's through 4. All right. First Giants pick in the first round. What do you got them doing?
I have them going Carnell Tate. They need a receipt. I have them going. This is the time to. I mean, I think the Giants could be a playoff team next year. I have like said this so many times, and this is where you can act on it. First things first, you're going to play that fourth place schedule because that's where they finished. And then in addition to that, you have the other 4th place teams that you get to play. Combine that with the rest of the division, which is like fine. Like they're like the Eagles are good, but they're going to lose A.J. Brown now, so who knows what's going to happen there. I think the Giants are going to be good. This is the time to strike. And Carnell Tate with Malik Neighbors, he'll be fine. Malik Neighbors will come back. He'll be fine. They have Cam Scatterbo. Like, this is ridiculous. This offense is going to be, oh my God. And they have Harbaugh now too. Like, if I'm a Giants fan, because I have a couple of buddies that are Giants fans, I would be so excited for this football season. For the first time in a while. For the first time since the yacht photo, all right? That's when this all went crashing down, was that yacht photo. So for the first time since that photo, I genuinely believe that if you are a New York Giants fan, it's worth being one. It's going to be really fun this year. And I think that it's going to help a lot with that pick.
I do too. Yeah, Trevor is obviously extremely excited. He is hoping he wants Downs at 5 and he wants Tyson at 10. I don't think that's going to happen. But my prediction for 5, I think that they take Styles at 5. And that is because I'm basing the Giants off of, okay, they've got Malik, they've got Slayton, and then they signed money with 2 O's over the offseason. So now you've got 3 wide receivers, and Harbaugh's in the building, who typically is known as a guy that doesn't take wide receivers in a draft. Not that he was the GM in Baltimore, but my mindset is maybe they're like, okay, I think we're okay at receiver for now, and they just see Styles there, who's just widely renowned as this crazy, huge upside linebacker, and I think that, in terms of the Giants' defense, they have a lot of positions that are very sound. Their defensive line's very good. They've got guys in the secondary. The linebacker, Okereke just left, I believe, and I think Styles would be crazy.
I mean, it's a good addition. The big reason that I think is I'm basing it on of what Chicago's been doing these past couple of years. They have been targeting heavy offense. Like, they have defensive players in mind, but they just like last year when you went Colston at the 10, you could, I mean, sure, it would be nice to bring in a tight end, but Cole Kmet was serving a somewhat purpose. Bringing in Colson obviously changed a lot of things, but then they doubled down again with Luther. Like, doubling down, tripling down on these offensive picks to really just have explosive weapons left and right. The Bears had the top 2 productive rookies in terms of offense in the entire year last year. Like, bringing in weapons to just constantly be good with a young quarterback, bringing in guys that are just coachable, guys who want to learn like Cardinal Tate, like, that's a huge reason. But again, it's crazy. Either way, it's both a Buckeye, which is just ridiculous once again, but
Yes.
there's that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like the way you put that. Bringing in playmakers, young guys that are ready to learn to help your young quarterback.
This is the time. I mean, when you can get guys to buy in on a mission, buy in on a guy who's shown you something. I think personally, and this is me coming from a Bears fan, it was limited, but Jackson Dart showed equal amounts to what Caleb showed in his rookie year. And then look what Caleb did in year 2. He's an enticing guy to play for, and he goes on head on, like he wants to win at a high level. I mean, if you're a playmaker, you want to go to him, in my opinion. Why wouldn't you, right? Especially if you're a young guy.
Why not? Why not? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there's 5. 6, we have the Browns. So I'll start. I have Browns taking Tate. You have Tate going 5 to the Giants. I like Tate. One of my favorite spots for him to go to the Browns. I think that the only 2 spots that the Browns really draft in this spot would be an offensive tackle or Tate. I think the Browns go ahead and grab Tate, see him as their playmaker wide receiver that they can come in and kind of already put him in the wide receiver 1 spot.
You ready for this one? We have a trade to announce in this one.
Okay.
This is where I think Dallas strikes. This is where Dallas makes a trade. They're going to use both their first because they have the lower first. They're going to use both of them. They're going to trade up, and they're going to take Reuben Bain. This is what I have them doing. They need to do it.
You think Dallas would trade both, come up to that spot, and still not take Styles?
They need the edge, right?
Yeah, I mean,
they need the edge.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with here. I think that they need to trade. Look, I kind of go chaos here. That's what the draft is, and I really
that's fine. No, that's fine.
I really think
I like it.
That I firmly believe Dallas is trading up. I firmly believe it. Maybe it's not both first. Maybe it's a first and a second. I firmly believe. I have this with both. I mean, we're talking to get into the 6th pick, right? So we're talking a high pick. I firmly believe that they are trading to get that. Like, this is the time to do it. They've always been stagnant about it. This is the time to actually make it happen. Because, when you look at the East, it's winnable. If the Cowboys can stay healthy, the Eagles are not trending in the right direction right now. They're going to lose A.J. Brown. It's already kind of been set in stone that that's going to happen. They're not trending in the right direction. If you have options to strike, get one up on your division, especially trade ahead of guys in your division, do it. This is the chance to do it. You were gifted a first-round pick. It's not yours. It's Green Bay's. Why do you need that? It's not yours originally. Give that up somewhere else so you can make moves that you want to make. Now, obviously, I could easily see Sonny Styles going there. I like Reuben Bain. I know he did whatever, but that's such an elite edge. That's such an elite edge. It's such an elite edge.
Yeah.
And I really think it's worth the trading. And I really think that Dallas is going to do it. They don't really have a reason to, in my opinion, I mean, sure, you can get a great player at that pick. I don't see a reason for Dallas to keep it. There's no reason for Dallas to keep it. Because then you're focusing too much on other things to develop here and there. Get the elite guy. Get the instant playmaker. Go compete for that division, right? That's the goal out here.
Mm-hmm. No, I like it. I thought in my early mock draft I had Dallas trading. I didn't anymore, but I do think that they could. I also like the way you put the pick from Green Bay it's a pick. It's a pick that wasn't yours originally. Just use it. Go trade up and get him. But, okay, cool. So you have Reuben Bain going 7. No, 6.
Yeah.
You have him 6. Browns trading back. Cool. And then I had Tate. All right. Well, then I'll piggyback off that. In the 7 spot, I had a trade. I had the Commanders trading back just 2 spots to the Chiefs. Chiefs jumping up and taking Reuben Bain.
That would make sense.
And here's my reasoning. I heard a lot of banter about the Chiefs wanting to jump up to 3 to take Bailey, or jump up to 2 to take Bailey. It'd probably be 3 with the Cardinals to take Bailey, assuming that the Jets take Arvell Reese, right? But my thought process is if I'm putting myself in the Chiefs organization, I'm thinking that they're thinking that Ruben Bain can be as physically dominant, as great of a player as Bailey, who's going to go 2 or 3 overall, and they can jump up with the Commanders. Commanders are cool to stay and drop 2 picks down because they've got their eyes on a different defensive guy, and they're cool with that, and the Chiefs take Ruben Bain at 7.
So Jeremiah Love is still available. They act on it. That's what I have him do right here, right now. My mock, he's not available yet. The run game was fine. Like, Jacory Carson-Merritt's fine. It's fun to chant Bill, I suppose. I went to a game last year. It's stuck in my head. But either way, he's available at 7. I don't see a reason they won't take him. There's no reason they don't take him at 7 here. He's Jeremiah Love. It's a matter of where he's available, and this is where he would be available for me. At that 7 spot, I think he ends up going there.
Fair. Okay, cool. The 8 spot is actually one, I think, out of all 15 picks besides Mendoza and like the top 15, this is my most confident spot. I'm very, very confident that the Saints take Delane out of LSU here. Because I think that they're like Louisiana guy. They need corners. They've had cornerback injuries over the past couple years. Go get a guy that was just had an incredible season. Prove that he was, a fantastic corner for the Tigers. And bring him in, keep him in New Orleans, and just, let it ride.
I have Caleb Downs here, but I could 100% see that happening. Like, that's a matter of defensive back at that point, but your reasoning makes a lot more sense there than mine. It's Caleb Downs, so it's either way, it's DBs at that position, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have him going to pick after. I have him going to the Chiefs. I just have him sliding 1 after that, but like, I think that those two are good. They're good players there.
Yeah, I think him taking. I just think that they've had the cornerback injuries, and he's just going to be there. He just played at LSU.
It's a lot more. The writing is on the wall there. The writing is on.
Yeah,
it's literally the next. It's like the next Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah. Okay, so you said you have Delane going.
Yeah,
to the
I
Chiefs
just have him going 1 pick later to the Chiefs.
Okay, cool. Well, I have the Chiefs taking, that's where the Commanders would have slid down. I have them taking Downs at 9. So we have the same 7, 8, 9. We just moved it around a little bit. So, yes, I have the Downs. My mindset is the Commanders are going to go in with the mindset of Bain, Downs at 7. And I bet you the phone calls, and they say, honestly, I bet you they know that the edge rusher is what the trade's for. And I think that they like Downs enough to move down 2 spots and get him there, assuming that he doesn't go to New Orleans, but I think they would still take probably Delane there in the 9 spot if New Orleans were to take Downs at 8.
It's pretty. That's strictly team needs there. They know stuff we don't even. They know stuff that they want to do, and the LSU ties makes sense though.
For sure. Cool. All right, 10 spot Giants back on the board. What you got?
This is where Sonny goes for me. I think it's a bit of a fall, but I think this is where he ends up going, and the Giants kind of just get lucky in a way. I mean, with the way that this kind of works, because there's the way a couple guys fall. Got Jeremiah Love falling, but I think Sonny kind of just ends up right there. I could easily see I could see that being like a flip flop where it's like Sonny goes to the 5 and then somehow Cardinal Tate falls. I could see that if so many teams want to address, especially teams trading into the top 10 to address the defense. I could see him falling a little bit, but either way, they have 2 top 10 picks. They're going to get an elite offensive player and an elite defensive player. If you're like, I get. The Giants are shaping up. They are shaping up.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So I have them taking Francis here at the 10 because just like your reasoning, he's still on the board. They drafted Styles at 5 if they do what I said. Tate's off the board to the Browns. Obviously they have Lemon, they have Tyson that they could take, but I'm in the mindset of, Harbaugh's in the building, they've got their 3 guys, maybe they're going to stick with them, and then they just see this giant offensive tackle that's still on the board, and they're like, well, he kind of fell into our lap, we just got to take him.
Makes perfect sense there.
So that's what I have the Giants doing.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. All right, 11, Dolphins, what you got?
I got McCoy out of Tennessee going here to the number 11 spot. They need defensive backs. This is the best defensive back available. He's good. He's very good. He proved it last year at Tennessee. This is exactly where it goes.
Cool. I have them taking Lemon. I personally think Tyson might be the best receiver in the draft. I think he might be better than Tate in terms of pure football ability. I think Tate's probably the more athletic freak that's going to go up and pull down some crazy jump ball. But if you watch Tyson play, he's just he just looks like a football freak. But anyway, Lemon though, I think the Dolphins take him because he reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. He looks like a guy that can get the ball in open space, big screen passes. He can get out in open space, make a guy miss, super quick up the field. And I just think you brought in Malik Willis. You know, you're going to be trying some new schemes. Obviously, a whole new coaching staff, whole new offense. I just could see a world where they just take him there and try and build him up.
He is my favorite receiver in this draft class. He is like
Really?
I love Mekhi Levin for the reasons that you described of Tyreek. So he played the reason that he won me over was a game against Iowa this year where he put up like 3 touchdowns. But it's the way he's putting them up. Right, this is Iowa defensive backs. He's just torching left and right. He's beating them down seams. They're double teaming him. He's jumping up in the air and he's catching the ball, bringing it down. This is just he's just an athlete. He's an athlete in every purest way of the word. He's an athlete, and he just he just torched. He torched us, and it was so he's so good. I have him going to pick later because I have the Cleveland trade, so I have him going to pick later. They get their guy at the receiver. Shadur kind of gets his weapon to build off of. That's another team that I think, like, they're going to sneakily be good this year. Like, maybe not, like, elite or anything, but I think that they're at least sneakily going to be okay. They already have the defense.
Cleveland?
Yes, they already have the defense. And if
With Shadur at quarterback or Deshaun?
I have Shadur. I don't know why it wouldn't be Shadur. I know, okay, sure, maybe I do know why it would, but no, I have Shadur.
Right.
He looked good last year at the time. He looked serviceable. The defense is already what the defense is. Like, it's already elite. Harold Fannin proved his spot last year. He proved he's a great tight end. Bring in a couple other playmakers. Bring in those young guys. You have that 4th place schedule, similar to the Giants. You finished last year in division. You have the 4th place schedule where you're going to be playing teams that aren't good. Sky's the limit in some ways, right? Definitely going to improve on the win total, in my opinion. I think they could even do better than that. Like, who knows? Shadur somehow has swallowed his pride and has realized, oh, wait, this is my job now. And he's locked in. Have you seen him on social? Have you seen Shadur Sanders post lately? Like, at all? In the past, like...
No.
Exactly! When was the last time you saw Shadur on your social media?
It's
been a very long time. He is locked in. He's locked in.
Good. He needs to be.
Well, duh, but he's locked in. And I think that bringing a guy in like Mekhi Levin at the 12th, at this pick here, because they trade back in my mock, is going to help tremendously.
See, I like your reasoning because one of the great things you're doing in your mock draft is while you're still being a little wild with trades and picks and stuff like that, you know, there's intent behind it. Where like you don't have the Browns sticking at 6, you have them moving down to the spot, but they still get a wide receiver. Your eyes, it's the best receiver. You know, I think that if the Browns did that, good for them. That's a good draft strategy. Will they do it? I don't know. It's Cleveland.
I guess I do think too. I guess I think quite optimistically for the front office that has proven to be
time and time again, baby. Yeah. Okay, so that's the 12th spot. I did not have the Cowboys trading up, so this is the Cowboys pick for me. I have McCoy going here, so we just flopped a little bit. But yeah, I think just Deron Bland, obviously they have, but they lost Trayvon Diggs. I think the Cowboys are just like, if I envision drafting corner, if a corner's there that looks good, I could see the Cowboys just snagging him up.
They need help. They need help there. I mean, any chance you can get an elite defensive back, take an elite defensive back. It's very simple. It's a very simple formula that people often do not listen to for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna get shaky. What do you got? 13 to the Rams.
I got Fano out of Utah. I mean, protect Stafford. That was we saw it against Seattle. How are you gonna get over the hump against Seattle? Protect Matthew Stafford. If they do that,
yeah.
And they're blessed to have this pick too, right? With the trades and whatnot, they're blessed to have this pick. Take the offensive tackle. Just take the guy, protect Matthew Stafford, go win a Super Bowl. Because I really think that you're just protecting Matthew Stafford away from doing that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I have them going offensive lineman here. I had them going Monroe Freeling. I actually think Fano's the better pick. When I envisioned it, I just saw the Rams taking Freeling over Fano. I don't know if that'll happen, but whether I think it's Freeling or it's Fano, I think the Rams go offensive tackle in this spot.
It's a Georgia Bulldog offensive lineman. They're very enticing to like when you look at a Georgia Bulldog. Of course, you want to draft them, but it's like Utah kind of sneaky with. They're like kind of sneaky. Like they have sneaky production. They have sneaky production. Sure. It's funny.
Yeah. So I agree with you there. So 14 spot. This is where I think I'm sticking to my Harbaugh news. Harbaugh's out of Baltimore. I think Tyson being on the board here, 14, is too good to pass up on for the Ravens, and they will take him.
I went more protection here. I went Ione out of Penn State just to keep keep things protected. You lose Linderbaum, you lose a little bit of that interior protection. Bring guys in to help out with that. That makes a lot of sense for Jordan Tyson, though. I think I could easily see that happening. But you got to replace Linderbaum, right? You lost out on Linderbaum. You got to at least do something to try to combat that. Try to keep Lamar protected in some capacity. Best interior offensive lineman, and it's like when you look at who comes after on the interior, like there's a drop off when you go to the next interior offensive lineman. So,
for sure, I think DaCosta's a good general manager.
Yes,
and I think that I think that maybe going into that, they're like, okay, let's grab O-lineman here. They're kind of preparing for that, and then they just keep seeing Tyson, and then it just kind of buzz starts going in that draft room. You're like Tyson Lamar. You're like Tyson Zay Flowers. It's like, okay, we can see this.
I mean, to have that true elite wide receiver, he's had good receivers, Lamar. I mean, Zay's had great seasons, but like when you talk like top 10 in this, like he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that his entire career. So to be able to have that in any capacity would be huge. That'd be huge for him.
For sure.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Okay, 15. What you got?
This is where I go Kendrick Fall. So I go on the edge here for Tampa. Defense is getting old. They started retiring. Got to bring it back in here somehow. Go to the SEC. Take care of that edge rusher.
Yeah. So I think that I agree that I think the Bucs like Kendrick Falk, but I have them trading back, thinking they can get him a couple picks later, and Carolina moving up because Fano's still on the board for me. So I think in this sense, they've spent a lot of money this offseason. Why not push a little bit more and then just go grab the guy that's still there, because you have obviously the Jets coming up. You have the Lions coming up who could go tackle and just like jump up in front of him and just grab him. He's still there.
That makes
So like if Fano goes to the Rams, like you said, I don't think the Panthers straight up and take Freeling, but I'd say if Fano was still on the board past the Ravens, the Panthers might be like, let's go get him.
I mean, if Bryce Young can get protected a little bit more, the vendetta of Bears and Panthers because of Bryce Young trade is so funny to me. But he looked good. He looked good, and that division has always been winnable. Like always, till the end of time, it's always going to be winnable. If they can even just remotely create some separation, that'd be scary.
I agree. It is winnable. Okay. Jets again.
Here's where I have Jordan Tyson go. This is where it's like you have the chance to get the elite receiver. Quarterback asks questions later. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Take care of the receiver position. Jordan Tyson's still available. Generational talent. Got to snag him.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think. I like that pick. I think that if Tyson was still there for the Jets, that they grab him. My mindset was, like I said, all you see from Jets fans is fuck the offense. Just do everything defense, at least, and then figure out the offense. And I'm like, they took Reese at the top. Why not go get Mesidor? If you're going to play Reese, in the linebacker spot, grab Mesidor for the edge. I just think he's too valuable for that spot to let him go. Just another massive defensive presence.
I mean, yeah, and that's rebuilding the defense again for him, but it'll pay off one of these times, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go back-to-back defense in the first, but I could definitely see it.
Doubling down on defense wouldn't totally shock me. They have to eventually build it up. They have to put the effort in, and this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it.
Yeah. Okay. 17 lines. What you got?
This is where I got Monroe Freeland coming in. They just had just keep the protection going in. That was killer for him last year. That was killer for him. Jared Goff had no time to throw, and he's not mobile. So to be able to bring somebody in to at least limit that, it's also a pretty good run blocker too. You already have Jahmyr Gibbs. You got a good run blocker coming in. Any way you can enhance that run blocking on an already top 3 running back in football, gotta do it.
Yeah, I have. Is it Ione?
Think so. I don't know.
Yeah, going to the Lions here. Kind of like your reasoning, protection. I had Freeland going to the Rams obviously earlier. When I watched Ione play, I thought he's my favorite lineman to watch play. Like watching his highlights were just fun. Like he literally just doesn't let anybody past him. He just plants his feet in the ground and he just he's a wall. And I could just literally just see him and Penei Sewell just being these massive dudes on the line.
It's terrifying. To have to line up.
Yeah,
and then you give Gibbs the option to run either way. And I think that's the thing that is even scarier, is giving him the option to run either way. He can run whatever he wants with Jahmyr Gibbs. He'll get past you. He's very fast. But let's say he doesn't for whatever reason. to have two elite tackles on both sides, you're screwed. You have no chance if that's the case. You have absolutely no chance if they're going to develop that. And it's terrifying, and they play a weak schedule this year because they did not finish well in the division. So they play a weaker slate. It's as a Bears fan, it's terrifying. And no denying it. Bring in a guy like that.
Okay. 18 Vikings.
This is where I have Dylan Thielman going. It's good. It's very good. There's somewhere I saw earlier today that, and I would not be surprised. We'll see what happens. But I saw that the Bears, because we have the 2 seconds, maybe trade up, not with the Vikings, obviously. They wouldn't make a trade, but maybe a couple picks before this or whatever to trade up and get him. Because we lost our safeties. We were able to replace one with Kobe Bryant, which was a great get, no denying that. But Cam Lewis is fine. You have a chance to get this guy. Get him. You have 2 seconds to leverage with. You can trade whichever one you want to be able to get this elite player here, in my opinion. But in this situation, I just don't have that happening. I've just been seeing that recently, where it's there's maybe a little momentum to that happening, where it's maybe we endeavor in this and then pair him with a veteran or, if anything, a Super Bowl champion in Kobe Bryant, and it's just you go from there. But at this pick, Harrison Smith retired, immediate replacement for him.
See, I agree. I have the same pick for the Vikings there. I just think that it's too good of a
Makes
spot.
perfect sense.
Not fall further, but I think he could get drafted higher. This is such a big defensive present draft, and if it was a little bit weaker, I think he could go higher. He's fun to watch. He's a ball hawk, dude. He can just fly around and he's fun. So I agree. I think he could. I was kind of toying with the idea of the Rams getting him hired, but they don't need scream safety. But I could see him just being a guy that would just excel. They just got Trent McDuffie and the other guy too from the Chiefs. So that would just bring their secondary to a whole nother level. But I like him. I don't think the Vikings will let him slide.
You literally are looking at the next Harrison Smith. I don't know how they can't take him.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Well, I'll say my Bucks pick because I had the Bucks trading with the Panthers here. I have Falk going to the Bucks, so we have the same pick just later. I think Falk would fall down to 19, and if the Bucks, wait to take him there, I think they can get him there.
I go Terrell at Clemson. Get the DBs in. Get the DBs in. I mean, we look, obviously, it's whatever happened in terms of, Puka was able to torch him. That's Puka at the end of the day, but get some DBs in. Get some DB. If they can get a couple of ball hawks in there, because they did fine. They had an okay secondary. Bring in a couple ball hawks. Who knows, right? And they did great this free agency. That was another team that just across the board brought in a bunch of talent, and you just kept looking on your phone on free agency. You're there's another one of the Panthers. Oh, what are they doing here? It's that was a team that just kept going and going and going. And build a little momentum defensively. Sky's the limit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Cool. All right, 20. Cowboys again. You got them staying there?
This is where I have Cleveland's pick here. Why is this?
Oh, that's right.
Because of the trade and everything. So
because it would be the double,
yes.
yeah.
So I have Cleveland's pick here, and I go Caleb Lomu out of Utah. Get that protection in for Shadur Sanders. He cannot get destroyed. You cannot cook up whatever you're trying to do with Lemon and Fannin and however you're trying to present your offense. You cannot do all of those things if you cannot protect your guy. You can't.
Gotcha.
No denying that.
Mm-hmm. I have the Cowboys still at this pick. I have them taking C.J. Allen out of Georgia. I just think that they'll go defense. Earlier I had them take McCoy out of Tennessee, but I think they go defense, and I think they go more of that linebacker position just because, I think he's obviously if we're besides Styles and Reese, I think C.J. Allen's probably the third best linebacker in the draft, and he's pretty good. His highlights were fun to watch. I could see him being a Cowboy for sure. Then at 21, we have the Steelers.
I got him going.
My pick's interesting.
Where you go?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I got KC. I got KC.
Okay.
Because I think that they just need explosive. They need somebody with DK. First things first. Look, me, Chicago Bears fan, I don't care. Aaron Rodgers, you suck. Make a pick. Make anybody say anything, right? Do anything. The last thing you need to do is nothing. And it's just absolutely causing havoc. They won't draft a quarterback. They have Will Howard and the wings and whatever. And maybe there's a chance he does something there. And I guess Mason Rudolph too. But they got to bring in somebody alongside DeCavion. Sorry if you got offended by me saying that. But they have to bring somebody in. They have to. Because he can do the one-man focus. But if you bring somebody else in, You distract a little bit from the running game. You distract a little bit from Freiermuth, especially a guy that really proved he could do it at multiple locations in college. Who knows?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. He's an interesting one of like where I thought he would go. I have the Steelers taking Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo. I think that the Steelers can go safety there. And yeah, he's fun to watch, and I just think you throw him in like a Steelers-esque, organization defense, he could thrive there.
Toledo corners, what about him? Like, literally, what about Toledo corners? Like, there's going to be 2 first-round Toledo corners in the past few drafts. That's very telling of something that's going on there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. 22 Chargers.
I got Peter Woods. I mean, he's just a beast. No other words to describe Peter Woods, but he's a beast. It's position need. I am on the position need. Just clog it. Don't let anyone get past you.
Yeah. I have them taking Terrell here because Terrell's still on the board. I think Chargers just see his best available corner.
Either way, it's Clemson.
Grab him. Yep, I don't really have much other reasoning for that. I just think Terrell's still on the board there. Chargers are like, yeah, let's pick him up. Okay, 23 Eagles. I have them taking Kenyon Sadiq here. Just because Goddard was re-signed on a 1-year deal, I think. And I just, in the mindset of like, I don't know, the whole Goddard situation was kind of fishy. It didn't really seem like they had much urgency to keep him around. So maybe they just approached this draft as Sadiq's, like if Sadiq's still there at 23 and they're just like, here's a tight end right in the first round, just grab it.
Especially now that they're looking that AJ's not going to stick around for much longer. So you need playmakers at that point. I want a little interesting. I have them trading this with the Cardinals. The Cardinals, and I think the Cardinals are going to take Ty Simpson here. Because
you think they take him this high?
I think this is the time for it. I think it's not a matter of the time, but it's also the team for it, right? You got to look at the team that's going to do it as the Eagles. They're going to field this option. They have the opportunity, and I think that he is good. I really think he's good, and I also think that the Cardinals don't really have a choice here. Like they can't rely on what they have. They really can't. Like the Jets have a little more leeway, in my opinion, with what their situation is at quarterback. Like this much more leeway. It's not much, but this much more than what the Cardinals have. And I think that they make the splash here. And I don't think it's good. It's like you'll have to give up a first probably, but like at the same time, like you're not gonna have to give up much else. So it's worth it in my opinion. When you can bring in somebody who was coachable, performed well. I mean, sure, this isn't an elite Alabama year this past year, but they still played well, held his own, won football games in tough environments. Like anytime you can get an SEC quarterback that wins in tough environments, it's impressive. Mm-hmm. It's impressive when you can get those guys.
Right. Fair. I like the idea of the trade there. I think the Cardinals definitely could trade into this first and grab Simpson at some point. I'd be interested.
It is early. I'll admit that I admit that it's early to make that trade at 23, but it's just a matter of the teams with the history of trading back. Like the Eagles they love trading back. That's like their favorite thing in the whole world is trading back in the first round and somehow getting a better player because Howie is just a freaking genius. But that's just more of an example there, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. So do you still have Browns at 24?
Yes, and I have. This is where I have Emmanuel McNeil-Warren going. I get him. I got him staying here. They get the defensive back here. They got to help out. And Ohio boy stays put in Ohio. Like no reason not to.
Yeah, I have them taking. I have them taking Tate in the first round, with the 6th pick, and then this is their next pick. I would have them here taking Proctor. Because, like you said, you need that offensive line. Grab a big Bama boy. Obviously, I heard rumors that he was projected higher. I've heard rumors that he falls out of the first. I've heard a lot of rumors. But I think Proctor's a good spot here for the Browns to go ahead and beef up the line for sure, like you said. Cool. Bears, 25. You go.
I'm very torn on what to do because it's a tackle both either offensive or defensive for the Bears here, in my opinion. And it's both viable because in the offensive tackle position, it was going to be Ozzie. Like, Ozzie Trapillo but he got hurt in the game against the Packers in the postseason. My hero for tearing his ACL to instead not stay on the field and waste a timeout to bring yourself off the field. He's my hero to do that against the Packers. He's probably the reason, or one of the reasons we win that game. And that's also going to basically not have him play this entire season. So bringing in an offensive tackle makes sense, but then also bringing a guy up the middle makes sense, either defensive tackle or even on the edge, because you need to pair somebody with Montez. I really like Austin Booker. I really do. But there's been this stupid debate that he's not ready, even though he is. Like, in my opinion, I've really liked him. Even though he came out of the fifth round, I've really enjoyed what he's seen up the middle. There's been debate. We've made signings. I just go offensive tackle, and I go Caden Proctor, which as an Iowa Hawkeye pains me because of what he did to us. You know, he commits and takes some money, and then I'm just going to go back to Alabama. Never mind. Like, the unloyalties to Iowa, of course, are always going to be in my heart here with this guy. But at the end of the day, he is literally Tristan Wirfs, but 2 inches taller. He's literally, everything he does is Tristan Wirfs, but he's larger than Tristan Wirfs, which is terrifying. And he will fall to this because of he had some inconsistencies with the penalties. I remember that being an issue. It just feels like every time he turned on the TV, he was doing something. Darnell Wright is an example of a tackle that had a ton of penalties his rookie year. Felt like every single game he had a false start or a hold. And then he slowly but surely became elite. Right? Penalties will get fixed over time. I know Ozzy's really good, and when he comes back, maybe he gets slid in. Who knows what happens with Brad Berry at that time? Maybe Joe Tooney moves another position. Who knows? He's like the best person ever. But in my opinion, you go Proctor and you develop him into what you want him to be, and then you got to go from there. I think that defensively they'll figure it out. I truly do.
I like your reasoning for that of wanting to go, you can see both ways of going front side of the ball, back side of the ball. I would say for the Bears here, I was looking at, this was more personal preference. I like Ben Johnson a lot. I like his schemes. I like their mindset in the Bears organization. They seem like a franchise that is on the come up. And I think that they take Hal here out of Texas A&M on the edge. I really like watching him play. I just think that maybe the Bears organization will see him as kind of a steal for that price, and maybe he could have been higher if it wasn't so edge loaded in this draft. And I think he could come in and make an immediate impact.
He would 1,000% make the immediate. He would find a way over Booker, which is, I'm just a big Austin Booker guy. I really am a big, he's a 5th round pick, but every time he has been in that spotlight of you gotta go he makes plays. This is a guy 6'5". He's a freak of nature out of Kansas. This guy makes plays. And I truthfully think that it's and I really do think that Cassius Howell will make an incredible impact in Chicago, but it's you look at the impact that Austin Booker is already making. The goal of Austin Booker is just to take pressure off of Montez Sweat so he could perform. And that's exactly what happened last year. Now he's going to do it again. So, it makes sense there, but I do actually think that Cassius Howell that'd be kind of sick to see him in a Bears uniform. You got me smiling thinking about that one.
I figured you would. But yeah, I just think that, that's a real possibility. Okay. Bills here at 26. You have them keeping the pick?
Oh, yeah. I got him going Caden McDonald. This is just best defensive tackle available. Get that defense in. Get that defense in. Especially the defensive line, right? And I feel like Caden McDonald is just such a Buffalo Bill. I don't know. Something about that guy, something about him. And another Ohio State Buckeye. Just so many Buckeyes, man. So many Buckeyes.
Yeah,
but
so many Buckeyes. Yeah. No, I like it. I think I could see them doing that as well. My mindset was more not that the offense failed them, but we need to actually address the wide receiver thing. And so this is where I have another one going. I have Amari Cooper Jr. going here. I just could vision the Bills fans with Amari Cooper jerseys and thinking that they can wear them again with this new guy. But I just think the Bills could go wide receiver here, and I don't know. It just kind of made sense to me.
It does. They've just had a very interesting history with that first round receiver. They've had a lot of expectations on that first round receiver, so it'd be a very interesting position for him to be a first round receiver. I think he would live up to it, but it's just you look at the guys that have come in as first round receivers to Buffalo, and it's been interesting results. It's been very interesting results because everyone's we got to be the next Diggs. We got to be Stephon Diggs. We got to be the next guy to be that. And then the void has kind of been there. So
yeah, and I don't think he even has to come in and be Diggs. When I watched his highlights, he looked to me he reminded me a lot of Khalil Shakir in terms of open field presence. He's great at making cuts and he's great at, making guys miss in open field. You bring him in with Khalil Shakir, let him mentor a guy like this. Not that Khalil Shakir is this major wide receiver, but he's been good for years. And so bring him in and just let him learn. And, they got DJ Moore now too. And, could be a good wide receiver squad there on Buffalo.
Very much so.
Okay, 49ers. I still have Lomu on the board, so this is where I have him going to the Niners out of Utah. I just think the Niners go tackle here or guard someone on the line. I don't see anybody that's coming up crazy that I feel like they have to take. I feel like this is one of those spots where they can kind of take who they want to take. And I think if he's still here, I think that they grab him.
I also want offensive tackle. I want Blake Miller. That's just who was available at this spot. I think he's just a dog. I think that's just who's available. You got to protect Brock Purdy. You got to protect Brock Purdy. I mean, that has been an issue is the protection of Brock Purdy. And to be able to do that would be massive. Just open the playbook. Let the playbook get open. They have the weapons for it. They have the team for it too. So you can do that.
Yeah. So this is where I can see fans putting their face in their hands because I still have Caden McDonald on the board, and here come the Texans. Could you imagine?
That would be great.
Caden
Wow.
McDonald goes
I was literally about to do this. That's
so if he's still on the board, I have
that'd be like one of the best
Texans
defensive lines of all time. Like
that's what I'm saying. If Caden McDonald falls to 28 and the Texans get him at 28, people are going to be making videos tomorrow night about how good this.
That would
Texans
be one of the
defensive
best.
line is.
That would be one of the best offensive lines of all time. That would be so
Yes.
good. That would be so good.
Yeah, yeah. The Texans would be. I mean, you just wouldn't want to play him.
You would not.
So yeah, he'd be crazy
That
on
is-
defense. It'd be nuts.
Yeah, if he falls, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. Okay. Who you got?
I got Kenyon Sadiq. They need tight ends. I love my boy Luke. You need to bring him some help. Luke Lachey needs his help. Bring him Kenyon Sadiq. I think he's just a playmaker. I think he's a dog, and
Yeah.
I think that if you can give options for CJ Stroud to develop, if you can give those guys in, do it. They have guys in. They have a decent offensive line. I think Sadiq fits in nicely. I also have him falling, obviously, in this draft a little bit, and it's like they in the same way that you have like Caden McDonald, just like, oh shit, I'm kind of like, oh my god, elite playmaker here. Like, bring the guy in.
Yeah. Cool. I like the pick there. All right, I have Chiefs at 29. I have them taking Colton Hood out of Tennessee just because, like I said, they traded Trent McDuffie or they lost him in free agency. I can't remember. And then the other one, too. I'm blanking on his name. Can't remember the other Chiefs corner, the really good one, too, that's also gone. I'm going to look. It's bugging me. Rams corner.
Was that Trent McDuffie, right?
Jalen Watson. Yeah, both of them. They both went to the Rams.
That's right.
So I think they just have a massive corner depth, and like, why not get Colton Hood
That's
right
fair.
here?
I have him going to Keem Messidor out of Miami. Get the edge up. Similar defensive needs. Just if you can line guys in and grab him, and he looked so good. That Miami edge was just. That was a scary duo this year. It was a very scary duo this year.
Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. Dolphins at 30. I have them taking Blake Miller. I had Caleb Lomu going to the 49ers. You had Miller, right, going to the Niners. Yeah. Is that right? So yeah, I just have Blake Miller going here. I think he's great out of Clemson, and I think the Dolphins. I had them taking Lemon in the first with the 11th pick. I think they go protection here, and they just grab Miller.
I got Omar Cooper in this one. He's available at this spot. They need the receiver. Here you go. And it's simple as that. It's a guy who wins, and he won in that stadium. I mean, maybe that means something, right? It probably doesn't, but at the same time, who knows? Some guys like playing in places, and especially in places.
Who did you have the Dolphins taking at the 11th?
I had the Dolphins at the 11th pick. I'm taking McCoy, getting that DB in. He went a little bit higher, but he's just he's a dog.
Cool. Okay. 31 Patriots.
This is where I got Cassius out. They needed another edge rusher. I could see them maybe even going receiver here too. Like there's options, especially like getting Drake May. Like if Omar Cooper doesn't go there at 30, I could easily see him going at 31 because like bringing in somebody for Drake May to really work with and develop at that level would be sick. But at the same time, it's like defense. Bring in the defense. Look at what it did against Seattle. Like it wasn't very good, especially from the edge. Kenneth Walker ran wherever he wanted to.
Nice. I like that. I think, like I said, I have him going to the Bears because I think the Bears pull the trigger on that. I could see a world where the Patriots do go edge, like you said, but I could also see a world. I've heard a lot of A.J. Brown rumors to the Patriots.
It seems I saw it was like on June 1st it should be like a whatever. Like I don't exactly know. Everything got so skewed.
Yeah. I think that basically one weird thing, this is weird to reference, but I saw a lot of betting apps projecting 5 or 6 wide receivers to go in this draft, and at this point, there's only been 4. And so I feel like there's more ESPN knowledge that there's going to be maybe a receiver or 2 that go more, and I think the Patriots might be one of those spots. And so I think they take Denzel Boston.
Ooh, he's good too.
I like Boston. Watching him.
Yeah, they develop sneaky receivers. As a guy whose favorite receiver in the league is a guy out of Washington, I am a big fan of them.
He has just great hands, great control. He looked like he had such long strides, and just like breaking him down like step by step. I just think he could be fun one to be in.
And he's not the only one. They got guys right now who are still on the team like this upcoming season that are just absolute dogs. So like Washington at the receiver position has, I don't know if it started with Rome, but since him, it is banger after banger of people coming in and producing at a high level, and their offense is going to be very, very good next year. Like people probably forgot because it's like, oh, they were as good as they were. No, they're going to be good next year, and they're not going to be fun when iOS play on the road. Like they have to go to Washington and play in Seattle. It's not going to be very fun.
For sure. Okay, 32. Do you have the Seahawks keeping it?
They lost too much defense to not have to take a defensive player here, and they're taking C.J. Allen in this pick for me. Just get the linebackers in. They lost way too many guys defensively. I feel like it's been very, sure, when you win a Super Bowl, you're going to lose guys. They're going to be able to make more money in other places, and they're not going to have the desires to say because they already did the job there. But it felt like a lot of guys left Seattle. It felt like a lot of guys left the Seahawks organization and ended up in different locations, and especially on the defensive side of the football. So obviously you had to pay JSN, but they lost a lot of guys. So to be able to get in there and bring in some defensive talent, the first round pick, sure, it'll be tempting to make the right trade, but it's also pick 32. Unless you're guaranteed a first round pick for the future, it's not worth it. Which you probably, who knows if you would or wouldn't be at that pick.
Right. So my mindset was pretty simple. I have the Seahawks trading away this pick because I think the Seahawks, obviously I agree, they need defense really bad. But I think the Seahawks are probably so tunnel-visioned on the fact that they lost Kenneth Walker that they're looking for the running back position, and they see the idea to get him a running back in the second. So I have them trading with Philly. Philly coming up and grabbing TJ Parker because I still have him on the board. Because Philly's, like you said, Philly's the type of team to trade back and have someone fall into their lap. Well, what if a guy's still falling down this board that's still there and they have the means to go up and get him? So Seahawks drop back and get two picks in the second, grab Jadarian Price in the second and a defensive guy, but I just have the Philly coming up at 32 and getting TJ Parker.
They always find a way, don't they? When they draft so well, and that's they find a way, and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. They find a way.
Yep, they always do. So, all right, well that was good. I enjoyed going through that. I'll be interested to see when we come back and we look at how we did. I would like to just predict a trade to be right.
Yeah, I would be. That would be very cool. Even if it's not the landscape, just two teams trading with each other. I feel good about Dallas trading up. I really do. I really feel good about Dallas trading up, and I just makes sense that would happen. Maybe the Cardinals one's a bit of an overreach, but I think I think he's a first rounder. I don't think he falls out of the first round. I think somebody's going to leap in and do that. Maybe he doesn't deserve to be the first round pick, but somebody's going to do that because they need to. There are teams that just do not have a plan in a future aspect of it. And who knows? Maybe the Steelers make the pick. Maybe Aaron Rodgers tomorrow is bored and wants to retire because he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to do whatever his mind wants him to do. And so maybe, but probably not, right? Because it's Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Right. He's going to just prolong the process as long as possible.
What a tool.
All right, bro. Well, thank you for joining us.
This was amazing. I had a great time.
Yes, sir. We'll have to get you back on during football season when Trevor's here, too, to talk some
Fantastic.
ball. He'll appreciate your comments about Jackson Dart. He's a big fan.
I am so convinced the Giants are going to the playoffs this year. I'm so convinced of it.
Yeah. Last year, we watched the draft together, and he had to leave, and so he waited for the first pick, in which they took Abdul Carter, obviously. And then after that pick, he started driving home. He lives 4 hours from here, and he called me because he got the notification that the Giants had traded up, and he started freaking out because he did not want Shedeur Sanders at that spot. And he was freaking out. He wanted Dart, and when they drafted Dart, he just was like, yes!
That's the guy. He is a winner. He is in the game. I mean, in the game against the Bears, for example, he got hurt in that game. But it's he's getting hurt because he just lowered himself putting himself in harm's way. Him and Cam Scatabo together are terrifying. Malik Neighbors with them are terrifying. They're going to get a first-round receiver this year, realistically. That guy's going to be a part of a terrifying offense. They already have Andrew Thomas. Like, they're good. They are good. They're going to play fourth-place teams. They're going to play fourth-place teams this year. They're going to play a not great NFC East. Like,
yeah, they can make some noise.
9-win team?
Yeah, they can make some noise. I agree. So, all right, well, I'm going to cut this off. Look forward to having you on the show here again soon.
Oh, yeah, this was a great time, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.